Oh, hello there. Welcome. This is Westminster Cottage, and I'm your host, Ryan Gretlein. Welcome. Wait, which side of the house can you see? Is it more if I go like that or like that?
That, because that side is...
Okay. Want me to talk about the house, say anything, or just I'm Ryan, this is Westminster? Hello, I am Ryan Gretlein, and this is Westminster Cottage. This is a story of how I got flipped upside down. I am a chemical physics major, and I live here at Westminster. Well, this is Westminster Cottage. Westminster Cottage is like Miller Manor or any of the other dorms. It's just general housing, not for any specific program or group. And it's a nice little house. It houses 23 people, and it is very old. I was in Wagner, which is one of the less than satisfactory dorms for freshmen. But in terms of the bats, we had a lot more bats this year than we ever did in Wagner. I've run into a few people, but for the most part, I only know one person who lives in the room next to me, and he similarly got one of the last singles on campus. From what I found online, the only history I can find about this house is from a 2008 article of the Worcester Voice saying that this house used to be a funeral home with a crematory in the basement and coffin chutes up through the floors. I like the ambiance of the room and the house in general. It's very old wood, and there's a lot of special sort of little quirks and knacks about the house that a lot of others don't. Very odd shaped doors and places to nowhere. My only real qualm with it is how hot it gets during the summer. My room is the one right in the middle on the third floor. It overlooks Bell Avenue with an oval port window and has slanted ceilings. It's very messy at the moment due to it being a long and weird week, but this is a room. It's quite small. It's only about 130 square feet. It has slanted windows, which sort of suffocate the room a little bit, but do give me a lot more wall space. And there's a single port window in the middle with a blind that can't really close or open all the way. I will often hear a lot of bats perching outside my window or below it, and it's not too much of a problem except for the fact that at night it gets very, very loud sometimes, just hearing all this chittering and squeaking right outside my window. I have had an experience with a bat. I was walking through the Holden staircase when there was a bat in the corner behind a conduit. We called security, and they sent somebody out with a net to deal with it. And as they were trying to get the bat jumped out of the corner, and it landed and crawled up my back to where the security guard said, "Oh, I guess I should have told you that kind of thing would happen," and walked out. I later went to wellness that day and ended up having to go to the hospital to get a full series of rabies vaccines. The hospital staff was telling me about how they had gone through more rabies vaccines in that week than they ever had before, and how the immunoglobulin that I was taking would be the last that they had in the hospital. And it was kind of weird because it felt like a normal hospital trip, but there's kind of an air of seriousness to it because there have just been so many bat bites lately at Worcester. I think there are a lot of measures that the college could have taken to take care of the situation and help the students a bit quicker than they did. The officials from the local health department that came down were dismissive and ignorant about students' issues, and these were issues that townies were also having and voicing their concerns with the college with little communication back. The bat situation has improved due to the bats continuing their migration north. However, I wish that the college had actually taken any action to help that situation without just waiting for the bats to leave. I really hope that next year it's not as bad as it is.
So this one plugs into the camera.